Dear students, welcome you all to the eighth session of Subject Executive Development and Soft Skills of third semester BBA of Mangalore University. In this session, let us discuss about the types of communication. The learning objective is to understand the different types of communication, and the outcome is like you are aware about like after the session, you are aware about the different types of communication. The first type of communication is verbal communication, and a verbal communication helps to deliver messages very quickly, because orally you are telling something so that it would be very easy to pass the message quickly. It helps employees receive clear direction and rewards good performance with prompt appreciation. All this boosts the morale and hence the productivity of employees. Remember the attendant at your office branch who gives a clear instruction and is calm, patient, and supportive. That's because she possesses excellent verbal communication. You can improve your verbal communication by developing active listening skills and confidence and as well as body language. And these are very important actually. To make your verbal communication very effective, listening is also very important, as well as you should have the confidence to convey the things through verbally, and more than that, the body language is very important. Therefore, like a teacher, say for example, the effective teacher is the one who is having excellent body language when he is presenting something. So therefore, like verbal presentation requires what good body language, and if you stand somewhere and if you don't move your arms or like the organs of your body, definitely that communication becomes very ineffective. So therefore, like body language is very important here in the under verbal communication. Second category is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication delivers a message without the use of words. Here we are not going to use the words actually, and without talking or without speaking, the communication is being done. And non-verbal cues through, for example, body language, facial expression, tone of voice are given and interpreted in this form of communication. A shrug of the shoulders could indicate different indifference, while waving of hands could be enough to say goodbye, and a simple nod may show acceptance. Say like when somebody asks like, "Are you ready to accept it?" So it's simply by raising, is it okay for you? Simply by raising your hand, or say for example, by clapping, you could say, you could convey the acceptance of yours. So this is called as normal non-verbal communication. You are not going to speak here. Instead of that, through other ways, through body language or facial expression or other cues, you are using for conveying the message. Next, third one is written communication. The most effective way of communication is written communication. Written communication is one of the most trusted type of communication. Emails, business letters, project proposals, blogs, books, brochures, websites. There are the examples for written communication. So this could be taken as a proof of for the things which you have communicated. And here in this case, the receiver cannot say that like, "Oh, I did not receive the message," or like, "I did not get the proper message," and all those things. Like like there is a proof for whatever you have communicated to him, right? Say for example, a business letter. You are writing a leave letter asking for the leave. Okay, tomorrow your boss can't say like you did not take the permission. So because for that you have your proof, and in the form of written, or you have written a leave application and applied for the leave and then left the and took the leave. So this is you have a proof here. In a verbal form, if you say like, I need a leave, and even if the boss has permitted you, tomorrow he would say like, "I did not give the permission." So there is no proof for the permission given by him. So therefore, like written communication becomes very effective way of communication. Next one is visual communication. Visual communication is a graphic representation of ideas. The best example for this is like any kind of, say like advertisement, where visuals plays a very important role. Visuals are created with the help of art, drawings, sketches, charts, graphs, infographics, or videos. So here you have to remember the super hit AMOLED advertisement campaign. one of the longest running creative campaign. It is an excellent example of visual communication. Here, the Amul is much loved and tagline like utterly, butterly and delicious is an all-time hit. Over the years, Amul ad have commented on social issues, politics, global affairs, films, sports and other topics with ease. The next category and the last one is the formal communication. The last category or the last type of communication is formal communication. A business meeting, a legal document, or a real estate agreement and appointment letter are some of the examples for formal communication. Formal communication normally takes place in a formal organization and it happens in a formal group, and such communication is called as formal communication. Formal communication is done through defined channels backed by certain organizational procedures. Formal language and the use of jargons are hallmarks of this type of communication. The communication usually follows a predetermined format or structure. For example, when in an office, in a government office, there are like predetermined, leave letters. So you have to apply for leave by filling the forms. So this is an example for formal communication. So you can't write a letter asking for the leave and submit. That's not allowed. So therefore, this is an example for formal communication. For example, you need a caste certificate. So when you need a caste certificate, yeah, so there is a required format and you have to apply through a formal application form. You have to fill the application form, and through that you are able to produce a caste certificate. When you apply for a job, say for example, online applications would be there, and these online applications, if you fill only, then only you are considered as a candidate for the job, okay, for the interview. So these are all an example for formal communication. So there are some advantages of formal communication. The first one is it streamlines the processes, makes the process very easy, and it increases work efficiency. It creates documented records and it reaches the target audience in. So these are the various advantages of formal communication. Thank you.